Welcome to checkingtime.com, your clock, neon clock source. Today I just wanted to do a short video on troubleshooting. Usually clocks are pretty simple. These are a quartz movement, battery operated. And as a clock shop, we do hundreds of clocks every year. And one of the most common problems that we find is, of course, dead batteries. Always check your battery. Even a brand new battery sometimes is defective. So if you have a voltmeter, of course, that's the best method to determine if your battery is a good one or not. If not, then try another one. The other problem is quite often, is that the batteries are installed backwards. And today, you know, they don't mark these very clearly. You have to look pretty hard to find out where the plus and the minus marks are. Sometimes I'll mark these just to assist when you're installing your batteries, but if you've got one that is not clearly marked, you do need to look on the mechanism. You'll see a plus, and that's your positive side, and you'll see a minus. We find lots and lots of quartz clocks that are brought in for repair, and we find simply the batteries installed backwards. So keep it simple and look for the obvious, quick, easy thing. The other rule of thumb is if you have just changed batteries and now all of a sudden your clock still won't work, there's still a good chance you installed the battery backwards. So check that first. If it's beyond that, the other thing that will cause these mechanisms to quit working is if the hands are touching one another. These hands all have to be independent. If any one of them are interfering with the other one's movement, then the clock will not run. Now, if you've received one of these brand new, we do generally test these to make sure, and the factory tests them as well. So we're pretty sure they're going to be okay, but they get jostled around quite badly in shipping. Now we intentionally, the most flimsy hand is the second hand, and we intentionally bend that hand upward on both ends just to give some additional clearance. We find the second hand is the biggest offender of this problem. The other two are a lot more stout. They generally stay in place quite well. You'll have to refer to our previous video where I showed the disassembly. So I've already disassembled this and I'm to this point. So if you need to know how to get to this point, refer to our other video. And if you have any questions, we can always email you the video. So once you're to this point, you basically, sometimes you can tell without even taking this all apart. You can look through the front, and if you see the hands are touching, well, voila, there's your problem. Get it apart, and these hands are basically just a press-on fit, and they're flexible steel or aluminum, probably mostly aluminum, and it's simply a matter of giving them a little tweak up or down, and look through the side. It's a little hard to capture on video here, and try to ensure that those hands have adequate clearance between the face, the hour hand, the minute hand, and the second hand. Then once you've done that, then the best thing to do is go ahead and stick a battery in it. Also, the other thing you can do is you can use the set knob here, and you can rotate those hands back and forth, rotate them around, and make sure that you don't see anything catching. So those are the two most common problems. If you've done all that and the clock still doesn't want to run, well, these mechanisms don't last forever, although we find these things, you know, 10, 15 years old. So they do last a pretty good long time. All things fail after a period of time. Our clocks are warranted for a year, by the way, as far as parts. So if you've gone through all these checks, made sure the hands aren't interfering with one another, then it's very likely the mechanism is bad. And again, refer to our video. It's a matter of pulling these hands, removing this nut, and then remove the mechanism, and then the opposite procedure to replace it. So I hope that helps, and if you do have any questions, feel free to email us, give us a call. We're here to support our products. We have an excellent product, and we really enjoy making them up and providing wonderful various signs for everybody's different hobbies and interests. So keep them coming, and tell your friends that checkingtime.com is your neon clock source. Thank you, and have a good day.